5 months ago, when I decided to redesign my workshops and training classes for online delivery, I got this wonderful device for my presentation, the ATEM Mini Pro by Blackmagic Design. What this tiny device allows me to do is to give me the ability to switch between my cameras, my presentation slides, and other things that I want to show to my students during my classes with a touch of a button. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how I use the ATEM Mini Pro to help me teach and present better in my online training workshops. Hi there, I'm Tian Teck with Sticky Spy. Welcome to another episode of Amazing Sticky Presentation inspired by Sticky Spy, bringing you tips, ideas and design for better presentations, turning your ideas into lasting impressions. The ATEM Mini Pro is an AV switcher and more. It has 4 HDMI inputs that you can switch between them on the fly and 1 HDMI output. It also has 2 separate audio inputs for connecting microphones or a music player, an internet port, and a USB port as well. And of course, it needs to be powered via a power adapter that comes with it. Besides the primary function of switching HDMI sources, it can record, live stream, and perform other functions like adding picture-in-picture and visual effects when switching from one source to another. You can see the many buttons here on the device where you can easily access to the different functions. Together with this device is also the ATEM software control that you can download to your computer from Blackmagic Design's website. This will allow you to access many other advanced features. Many of these advanced features in the ATEM Mini Pro were designed for professional broadcasting and live streaming. I will most likely not need to use many of these advanced features for my presentation delivery during my training workshops. However, one of the nice things that I really like about the ATEM Mini Pro is that I can connect the USB-C port from the ATEM Mini Pro directly to my MacBook Pro, and it will show up on my MacBook Pro as a webcam. This will allow me to capture and share any of the HDMI inputs with my students watching me at the other end of Zoom. I can be showing myself talking or my presentation slides or something on my computer that I like to show or demo, or even showing a view from my second camera. The USB-C port is also capable of doing one more thing. If I'm not using it as a webcam, I can connect a USB drive to it and it will record the program output from the ATEM Mini Pro. Now let me show you how I connected my ATEM Mini Pro. This is my ATEM Mini Pro in my studio with the cables connected. I have my HDMI 1 connected to my main camera, which is an old iPhone that I'm not using anymore. This will be my webcam that I use during my training sessions that I conducted via Zoom. You know, Zoom allows you to choose which camera to use if you have more than one webcam connected to your computer. Maybe I'll talk more about this in another video. HDMI 2 is connected to my second camera that I use for showing non-digital actions or things that I do on my table, like drawing a diagram on paper. Here, when I need to show my student how to visually plan slides using a storyboard, I can just pick up a pencil and start drawing on paper, which is natural and easier to do than drawing on a computer screen. Using the ATEM Mini Pro, I can quickly switch from showing me talking to showing me drawing on paper with a pencil. All I need to do is to press a button on my ATEM Mini Pro. The HDMI 3 is connected to my computer that has my presentation slides. I usually like to have a separate computer for my presentation slide that I use in my training. This allowed me to have better control during the training sessions, as I do not want to overload my main computer handling the Zoom connection with too many apps running in the background. HDMI 4 is connected to another computer that I use for showing all things digital, like showing a demo of how I use certain functions in PowerPoint and Keynote, showing a PDF file, or sharing information from a Google search. In order to view all the inputs at a glance during my training, I connected the HDMI out port of the ATEM Mini Pro to a 27-inch display. This is one of the really powerful features of the ATEM Mini Pro. Besides showing what are connected to the inputs, it also shows which input is live and other key status like the recording status, live streaming status, and mic input volumes. The mic 1 port is connected to a video mic that is mounted on a custom-made boom just above my head. The USB-C port is connected to my MacBook Pro to be used as a webcam for Zoom. And lastly, the Ethernet port is connected to my home wired Ethernet hub for live streaming when necessary. Finally, I need to practice before going live. Believe me, really need to practice to know when to press which buttons during the training session. Sometimes I forget and I press the wrong buttons, and that happens to me many times. As I use the ATEM Mini Pro more, I discovered more things that I can integrate into my online training workflow, like using the green screen and changing the size of the picture-in-picture, adding my brand logo on screen, bringing in lower thirds, automation with macros, and more. I will share more of this discovery with you in another video. So far, I'm enjoying using my ATEM Mini Pro and it's now part of the workflow in all my training sessions. Before you go, do give this video a like and remember to subscribe to this channel for more videos. See you next time in another video. Bye bye.